All right, team, welcome back to TNT Digital Mindset. Today, I'm really excited to dive into some cutting-edge stuff. I've been poring over the latest research on digital trends, and honestly, it's fascinating. I've even leveraged some advanced AI, yeah, you heard that right, to break down the core insights. This way, we can get straight to the actionable strategy. So without further ado, let's jump in.
Welcome back to TNT Digital Mindset. We've been digging into the latest data on digital infrastructure, all to help you sharpen that strategic thinking. Today, we're talking about something huge, but kind of invisible. It's the engine that powers our entire modern world. And honestly, getting your head around this is absolutely critical if you want to succeed. All right, let's just jump right in and look at the stakes here, because they are massive. Picture two different worlds. In one, you've got a connected world where innovation just explodes. Global commerce is seamless, and opportunities are everywhere. But on the flip side, a disconnected world. This is where great ideas stall. Markets lag behind, and frustration is just part of the daily grind. The only thing separating these two realities? The quality of the digital infrastructure underneath it all.
So let's zoom out and start with the big picture. In this first section, we're going to talk about the digital economy's backbone. We're going to break down exactly why this infrastructure, is the absolute non-negotiable foundation for pretty much everything we do.
Okay, so what are we even talking about when we say the digital economy? You know, it's easy to think it's just e-commerce or streaming a show, but it's so much bigger than that. We're talking about the entire gig economy, telehealth appointments, how we work remotely, online education. It's this massive interconnected ecosystem where, let's be honest, technology and the economy are basically the same thing now. And this quote right here, it just nails it. Digital infrastructure isn't just a part of the economy anymore. It is the backbone. Seriously, every single click you make, every show you stream, every digital payment, it's all riding on this invisible foundation. If it disappeared tomorrow, all those services we take completely for granted, poof, gone. So if it's the backbone, then what are the bones, right? What are the actual pieces holding this whole thing together? Well, in this next section, we're going to go inside the infrastructure and look at the core components that make our digital world even possible. Okay, the best way to think about this is like a living, breathing system. First up, you've got the data centers. These are the brains of the operation. Huge buildings packed with servers and storage where all the world's digital information actually lives. Then you've got the broadband networks. Think of this as the nervous system. All those fiber optic cables and wireless signals zipping data around the globe at literally the speed of light. And finally, you have cloud computing. This is the raw power, the muscle. It gives businesses scalable, on-demand resources that are just completely changing the game. Now, if you're a business leader, what does all this tech actually mean for you? Well, it translates directly into a massive competitive edge. We're talking about a huge boost in productivity, thanks to automation and AI. We're talking about global reach, the ability to connect with customers literally anywhere. It means incredible cost efficiency, being able to ditch expensive hardware for the cloud. And maybe most importantly, it gives you the power to make smart, agile decisions based on real-time data. Okay, that's the theory. But theory is one thing, right? Let's talk about the real world. Let's look at some tangible proof of how smart investments in this stuff can create unbelievable success stories on a national scale. First up, South Korea. They went all in on a nationwide 5G network. And listen, this wasn't just about getting faster downloads on your phone. No way. This strategic move ignited a firestorm of innovation in things like smart manufacturing and laid the actual groundwork for autonomous vehicles. They basically became the global benchmark for what's next in connectivity. Next, let's talk about Estonia. This country is like a stunning glimpse into the future of how a government can work. They built an entire digital framework from scratch. We're talking citizens voting, filing taxes, accessing their own health records, all seamlessly online. And they did it with world-class security and incredible efficiency. And then you have Kenya. Their mobile money system, M-Pesa, is a perfect example of how digital infrastructure can solve real, local problems on a massive scale. It completely transformed financial inclusion for millions of people, letting them leapfrog traditional banking entirely and bridging these huge economic gaps. Just incredible. So, what's the bottom line here? What are the big takeaways? From South Korea, the lesson is clear. Speed drives innovation. Prioritizing next-gen networks directly fuels the whole economy. From Estonia, we learn that digitizing public services isn't just about tech, it's about building trust through efficiency. And from Kenya, the takeaway is powerful. solve local problems with technology, and you'll create incredible, inclusive growth. Seeing these patterns and learning from them, that's really the core of the TNT Digital Mindset.
Okay, that brings us to our final, and honestly probably the most important section for your own strategy. It's about building tomorrow's economy. We need to talk about what's coming next and what kind of mindset you're going to need to actually win.
Here's the thing. The infrastructure we have right now, it's not going to cut it for what's coming. The next great competitive frontier is all about these emerging technologies. Think about AI that can manage and optimize entire networks all by itself. Think about the mind-bending power of quantum computing, solving problems that are literally impossible for today's machines. And get ready for a massive wave of IoT, the Internet of Things, connecting billions of devices that will create just tidal waves of data.
And all of this, it all comes down to one central question. For you, for every leader out there. Take a hard look at your own organization, at your own strategy. Are you building on today's infrastructure, or are you building for tomorrow's? Are you truly ready for the demands and the massive opportunities that are right around the corner?
Look, just understanding these trends is the first big step to getting ahead of the curve. If you want to master the digital economy and keep sharpening that strategic edge, make sure you subscribe to TNT Digital Mindset. Thanks for listening.